everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking to you about products that changed my game. And what I mean by that is that these are not just products that I like or products that I enjoy or I think are good. These are products that are so good or so different or so unique that they actually changed the way I do my makeup or changed how good my makeup is or how I apply it or how I look even. These are products that affected my beauty life like no other. So let's begin. So the first one is the Modern Renaissance palette. I mean, what can we say about this palette that hasn't already been said? Nothing, so I won't bother other than to just say that before I invested in this bad boy, I was buying singles left, right and centre. I had Makeup Geek singles coming out my ears. I still do, I still love them. Don't get me wrong, I have MAC singles coming out my ears. I had Coloured Rain singles. I had every brand of really amazing eyeshadow going in singles, in palettes, all over the place. And then I invested in this one. And I realised that if I had just bought this first, I wouldn't have needed any of those singles because much as I love them and much as I love using them still, this palette has everything in it that you could ever need to put on your eye for every occasion, for every skin tone, for every event, for every day. It's got whatever you want. So I guess what this did is, one, it was my first palette. Up until that point I've been making my own palettes and buying singles because you look at palettes all the time and you think, well, I'm not going to use at least half of those shades a lot of the time. It's a waste of money. I'm going to run out of the good ones and there's going to be all these crappy ones left. This one is like you're going to use every single shade every single week of your life because it is that good. So this not only changed the way I buy eyeshadows, but the way I use eyeshadows and the combinations. It kind of made me step out of my comfort zone because there are colours in here that I never would have picked up as singles. For example, like the pinks and probably Real Gar and also Cypress Umber. I probably never would have purchased those as singles. But because they're in there, it makes me want to use them, and also it gives me comprehensive looks. I don't need to think, oh my god, what eyeshadow goes with what eyeshadow? How do I make a look out of all these singles? They just go together all so beautifully and easily. It's a dream. Changed my life. So next up, although it is not in its official container, is the RCMA No Colour Powder. Because before this came along, I did not bake. I didn't know what baking was. I didn't set anything. I didn't set my concealer. I didn't even know about setting stuff. So this, no doubt, changed my baking and concealer game for good. I'll never go back. This is Benefit's Goof Proof Pencil. Now, I don't have amazing brows. I have terrible natural brows, but I'm not very good at doing my brows either. And this came along, and they're still not Instagram brows, I hear you. But they're so much easier, so much less painful, so much better than it was when your only option was like a brow powder. This came along, changed my whole life. It takes me 5 minutes to do my brows. They look 10 times better than they ever did before I started using this. I now actually don't mind doing my brows, as it used to be a terrifying thought, akin to like winged liner for me. And now it's easy, easy. Jeffree Star liquid lipsticks. I didn't think I could use liquid lipsticks because my lips are so dry all of the time, but especially in the winter. And when liquid lipsticks started to be like the thing of all time, I was like, I tried a couple of different brands and different shades and things like this, and I was like, I'm never gonna be able to use liquid lipstick. It is killing me. My lips are flaking. They're gonna fall directly off my face. And then I discovered these bad boys, and let me tell you, so comfortable, not drying, do not move all day, all night, eating, drinking, whatever you want to do. They are there and my lips can handle them. So actually, Jeffree gave me the ability to wear a liquid lipstick. Thank you. Italy paint pot. Everyone knows about paint pots, right? I didn't know about them until very recently. I maybe started actually using any kind of eye primer probably in the last like 18 months. And this was the one that I used, basically recommended to me by Aisling from Dramatic Mac. I picked this up and I have never unprimed my eyelids to this day since I got this. It really does make so much difference. Now, I briefly touched on the winged liner struggle earlier. Let me tell you, I had abandoned all hope of wing liner. One, because my eyes are fairly hooded. So you have to do like quite a thin wing, which is actually even harder than doing a regular wing, because obviously every time you make a mistake or it's not neat enough, you make it thicker and thicker while you're trying to correct it. And eventually I have no eye left. That's what happens to me. And then I discovered Kat Von D's tattoo liner. Now I basically do a wing every single day of my life and it takes me about 30 seconds. And legitimately, I am useless at it. This essentially does it for me. I don't get stressed about it anymore. It's easy, it makes it really, really thin so I don't lose like all of my lid space. If you're struggling, give it a try. Honestly, it's changed my life. So who hates cleaning their makeup brushes? I do, until I found this. I actually am almost starting to enjoy cleaning my brushes now. I know, almost. But I clean them now weekly at least. I clean my beauty blender every day and a couple of my like brushes that I use with creams daily, so because they get so clogged up. Literally, it's quite fun. It's just so easy and quick and simple. You know, a swirl in there, a bit of water, and it is like completely gone. And it's just like, it's amazing, this stuff. Amazing. So I used to think that you needed to put like foundation all over your face every single day of your life. And I used to have like quite textured skin, quite, you know, irritated skin, like all kinds of different issues because I was wearing foundation for, and I don't get home from work and take my foundation off. I leave it on until I go to bed. So my foundation on a daily basis was staying on my skin for like 15 or more hours. And I didn't really know that was a bad thing. And then I watched a video again by Aisling at Dramatic Mac, where I just kind of chatted to her in the comments about like, if you don't want to wear a foundation for like 15 hours, like what are you supposed to be doing? And she was like, BB creams, girl, for Christ's sake, BB creams, tinted moisturizers. So I invested in the Urban Decay Naked Skin one and done. And I literally, this is the only foundation I use like on the daily basis, like if I'm working, so I'm gonna be out the house, unable to take my makeup off for like 12 or more hours. This is what goes on my face. It's so much kinder, it's got good skincare properties in there, so much lighter, it lasts, but it isn't clogging up your pores and feeling really heavy and looking cakey by the end of the day. Thanks, Aisling. Thanks, girl. Now this is quite a recent one for me. This is MAC's Extra Dimension Blush in Just a Pinch, and it is a really glowy, stunning blush. Really like pretty apricot colour. And the reason this changed my game is literally until this point, I did not own a blush that was not matte. And look at this guy. I mean, on no earth is this matte. Yet I freaking love it. I thought that the girls at MAC had lost their minds when they told me to buy this, and since I've got like 3 more because it's so beautiful, so pretty on the skin. It doesn't look shimmery, it just looks like a glow. Let me show you this blended out. Look at that, it's just like a glow. Doesn't look glittery or shimmery, just stunning on the skin. Since I picked that one up and started using it like literally every single day of my life, I now have stopped buying matte blushes. Every blush I own is now a glowing, at least satin finish, if not extra dimension finish, because I now love me a glowing blusher. MAC Fix Plus spray. This is the coconut version, but who cares? Whatever version it is damn good stuff. If you are someone like me, you put powder on, you put bronzer on, you put contour on, you put blusher on, you put highlight on, and who knows what else you've put on your face that is made of powder, and you look all dusty and heavy and unnatural, and then you soak your face in this stuff and you look like an angel from heaven. I only found out about this stuff maybe in the last 18 months since I started hardcore watching YouTube. Changed my game, changed my game. No more Dusty over here, no more Dusty. So now, a bit of a oddball, a bit out there, but seriously changed my life game. This is the MAC Cleanse Off Oil. This is the weirdest stuff I've ever seen in my whole life, let me tell you. It's called an oil and it kind of acts like an oil when you pour it in your hand or squeeze it in your hand from the pump. And you massage it into your face and literally all your makeup just melts. You swoosh your face with water and it is gone. Your face does not feel oily. There's no residue. There is no makeup left. It is miraculously gone. Until I discovered this stuff, I was a baby wipes in bed kind of girl. And I found this stuff and it turned me into this like skincare regime loving queen. Like I can't tell, I've like now got all kinds of things going on. I've got this, I've got a face wash, I've got a toner, I've got micellar water. I've literally got this whole regime now because it makes it so like enjoyable, and it's all because I started using this and it like changed who I was in my soul. Don't get me wrong, I still love taking my makeup off with a baby wipe in bed every now and then. It's just good, you know, I love it. After a night out, definitely not reaching for this. Definitely not. But when you've got a bit of time, it's like a ritual, it's like a relaxing thing to do, you know, to go in and moisturize. It smells beautiful. I feel like I've been to a spa. This brush made me love highlight by itself. This is the Sigma F42 strobing fan brush. And I don't want to keep tooting her horn, but I feel like Aisling told me about this one as well, you know. I think she did. That girl has a lot to answer for. But I've struggled with highlighting since it became the biggest thing since John Lennon or someone. I had a sort of bigger fan brush, like a Morphe one to begin with, and it was nice. I quite liked it, you know, it did the job. And then I started using, you know, a more sort of long tapered type of brush. And again, I quite like that. But, you know, you see these pictures on Instagram, these girls, their highlight is always in the perfect place and position. And I just couldn't do that. It was just always kind of on my whole cheek and not coming down as far as I wanted it. And the angle wasn't right. Then I found this and it's literally so precise. It's the perfect shape and size to get that exact angle and shape that you want, and to also do the sort of C shape up around your brow. It is just, it does it for you. And I love tools and makeup that actually, like the Kat Von D liner, same thing, does my makeup for me. Can't go wrong, foolproof. Highlighter game has changed off the chart since I found this bad boy. This Makeup Geek Travel Vault palette. Until I found this, you should have seen the size makeup bag I was taking with me for like just literally a weekend away at my aunt's. Ridiculous. Then I found this and it is just the perfect size for travel. This is like every eyeshadow I took with me on holiday, plus my contour, and the only other stuff like apart from foundation and mascara that I took was literally a bronzer and one blush, and that's all I really took, because you can fit everything in here. And actually if you sacrificed a couple more shadows, you could fit a blush in here as well if you're a bit less high maintenance than me. And if you really wanted to travel light, you could even put a highlight pan in there, a couple of shadows, a blush, and you'd have everything in there in one. And it's really solid. It's totally changed the way I travel with makeup, totally condensed everything. It's got a huge mirror so I can sit in bed. Very important for me to be in bed as much as possible and do your makeup on holiday. What a treat. And last but not least, another brush, and this is the MAC 242. Now, I don't often spend a lot of money on brushes because I do feel like, you know, Sigma, Zoeva, Morphe brushes are all really good quality and really good value, so you don't really need to go nuts on brushes. However, there are the few exceptions where a brush comes along that cannot be duped, and I feel like this is one of them. I mean, it can be duped for sure, everything can, but it won't be the same, you know? This is the perfect size. If you're doing a cut crease, again, I'm coming across so lazy in this video, but it's true, I am. I'm lazy. If a brush is gonna make my life easier or do something for me that I find hard, I'm in. So this brush is literally the exact same shape as my eyelid. So if I'm trying to do a cut crease, I don't even need to cut the crease. I just use this and my light shadow, and it basically does it all for me. If I spritz this with some Fix Plus, any crappy shadow becomes the best shadow ever. It stops stuff falling out. It packs stuff on the lid, so it's so mega pigmented. Even if it's like a not great shadow, it's the perfect shape, nothing transferring up onto the lid. It is just a dream. It's changed my eye looks, it's made me be able to do a cut crease that I couldn't do before, changed my game. That is everything I have. So those are the products that changed my makeup and beauty game forever. I've never looked back. I'd love to hear in the comments below what your products are that have changed the way you do makeup, or changed how well you do makeup, or how easy it is for you, so we can all go out and buy each other's favorite things, which is why we're all here, let's face it. So if you like this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'd love to see you in a future video. Bye bye for now.